The nation in mourning, shocked by tragedy. 9 people dead after a mass shooting in a small BC community. Flags now lowered here in the nation's capital. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan. Canada has been stricken by grief following a mass murder in the western province of British Columbia. New details emerging today about what happened in Tumbler Ridge, BC, and who was behind it. 9 people dead, including the suspect, with 25 confirmed injured. Their lives being honored by lowered flags here in the nation's capital, with Prime Minister Mark Carney speaking in the House of Commons today, visibly heartbroken by how these lives were lost.
To those families who have lost loved ones, this House mourns with you. To those who are recovering from injuries, this House prays for you. To the students, the teachers, the parents, every resident of Tumbler Ridge, all of Canada stands with you. May the memories of those lost be a blessing.
CTV's Andrew Johnson is in Tumbler Ridge with more.
A heartbreaking symbol of a tight-knit community in mourning.
This is a deeply distressing incident.
Shortly after 1:20 local time Tuesday, an alert was sent out to residents warning an active shooter may be in the community. The RCMP say they rushed to Tumbler Ridge Secondary School, where at least 25 people were found injured. 6 others, a 39-year-old female educator, 3 female 12-year-old students, and 2 male students ages 12 and 13 were found dead inside the school of just 160 students.
Families are just mourning in their own way. Everybody has their own way of expressing remorse and grief, and we give them their comfort zone.
Police say the suspect, who was found at the school dead of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound, was 18-year-old Jesse Van Rootselaar, a resident of Tumbler Ridge. The suspect's 39-year-old mother, Jennifer Strang, and 11-year-old stepbrother, Emmett, were found dead at the suspect's home.
Well, we don't have an idea yet as to motive. And again, recognizing we're still less than 24 hours into this incident, it is something that we are certainly passionately pursuing, but it would be too early to speculate on motive.
Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Tumbler Ridge, BC.
Turning to a tragedy closer to home now, this one about 2 hours outside of Ottawa and Kitigan Zibi. 2 children and a father are dead in a suspected murder-suicide that has left the Western Quebec Reserve shaken. Kitigan Zibi is just outside of Maniwaki. Police were called to a home on Kitchi-McCann Street around 2:15 in the morning. CTV's Austin Lee is there with more. Austin.
Well, Stefan, we're on the scene of an absolutely tragic situation. Police say 2 children are dead along with their father. They have cordoned off the house here behind me as they try to piece together exactly what happened at around 2:15 in the morning. The Sûreté du Québec, the provincial police service here, says that they believe this was a murder-suicide and that the father used a firearm. He was 41 years old. The children were just 10 and 12 years old. The Sûreté du Québec is now leading the investigation, and they're working in collaboration with local Kitigan Zibi police.
One of the 3 individuals had died, and the other 2 were transported to the hospital where they were pronounced dead.
Now, I did speak with a neighbor here who tells me that he didn't want to go on camera, but he says he's been living beside the people in the home for several years now, almost 30 years he's been living in this home, and he says that they've always been very private, they've kept to themselves, and he was obviously quite shaken up about this whole situation. We also, earlier this morning, heard from area MP Stephen McKinnon, who had this to say about this tragedy.
Just an unbelievable thing to wake up to. I know that community very well. My thoughts go out to the chief, all the members of that community.
Quebec Premier François Legault also took to social media earlier today saying that he was shaken by this situation, also expressing his heartfelt condolences for the Anishinaabe Nation. Stefan?
Austin Lee reporting for us from Kitigan Zibi. Thank you, Austin. We know the news today can be difficult for many to hear. If you need to talk to someone or you're struggling with a mental health issue, know the Distress Center of Ottawa and region is available around the clock. You can call 613-238-3311 at any time of day. Ontario Provincial Police confirming a carjacking that turned into a police pursuit yesterday evening. It started around 5 p.m. in Pembroke and ended around 5:30 with an arrest being made in Renfrew. The accused of no fixed address is charged with robbery with violence, 2 counts of theft of a motor vehicle, dangerous driving, obstructing police, assault with a weapon, and 2 counts of failing to comply with a probation order. The Public Service Alliance of Canada says its Program and Administrative Services bargaining group has declared an impasse in contract talks with the federal government. The union says the move comes after last week's announcement of new return-to-office rules for public servants. In a statement, the union says the PA team made the decision to declare an impasse as the employer refuses to bargain in good faith. The union adds declaring an impasse triggers the next step in the collective bargaining process. The group represents more than 100,000 public service workers. An Aylmer, Quebec man is among the thousands of Canadians in Cuba preparing to be flown home due to a fuel shortage in the country. Steve Chapman says he and his wife only just arrived in Veradero, Cuba on Saturday and weren't set to fly home until February 28th. That flight was canceled by WestJet, and now the couple are unsure when exactly they'll have to leave.
We spoke to the agent on the ground here at the hotel, and she told us that we will be receiving an email that is giving us our scheduled flight out. We're just going with the flow, and when we get the tap on the shoulder to leave, we'll do it.
WestJet says it is sending planes down to Cuba with enough fuel to pick up passengers and return without needing to refuel. Aviation experts say they expect the roughly 7,200 Canadians in Cuba to be repatriated within days. In other news tonight, a potential break for transit riders could be coming eventually. City councillors voting to explore options to offer refunds or discounted future service to transit riders as OC Transpo users face another week of bus cancellations and shorter trains on O Train Line 1. CTV's Leah LaRocque is here with more details. Leah.
Well, Stefan, riders continue to deal with these bus cancellations and breakdowns because of an aging fleet, and the city is waiting for more replacement buses to come. And Line 1 is still running shorter cars because of an axle problem. Riders and now councillors are joining the call to see how they can get some relief. So council voted today to look at ways that transit users could be compensated. Options like refunds, capital improvements, or discounted future service. Staff will report back to councillors in May. The city will also create an accountability policy where riders would directly benefit.
No one at OC Transpo is happy with the level of service we're providing right now, and you see it throughout our entire organization. You can see that people are wearing it, and they feel bad, but they're all committed. From the mechanics to the operator to our customer service representatives, everyone is focused on improving the service, and I know we'll get there soon.
OC Transpo offered free transit in December of 2021 after a derailment caused a 54-day shutdown. That month of free transit cost OC Transpo $7 million. But the main issue is that OC Transpo doesn't have any money. This year it's facing a $47 million hole in its budget, which begs the question, where would the money come from? Councillors want to look at savings that they are using for not fulfilling penalties to RTG, the maintainer, seeing if the money there could go back into riders, but Stefan, we still don't know.
All right, we'll have to wait and see. Thank you for this, Leah. Appreciate it. A former Ottawa public school in the Redwood Graham Park community is up for sale 8 years after the school was closed to students. Ottawa commercial real estate firm Avison Young has listed Grant Alternative School on Draper Avenue for sale, saying it has developmental potential. The school is near the intersection of Baseline and Greenbank Roads. The sale is being criticized by area councillor Lane Johnson and local MPP Chandra Pasma. Johnson says she only found out the school is for sale when a resident told her a sign had gone up.
It used to be that when a school site came up for sale, the municipality had a right of refusal, and there was a formal circulation process. And in this case, that did not happen. And so, we only found out about it through a private listing.
In January, OCDSB Supervisor Robert Plamondon said he directed staff to move quickly to divest unused facilities. Pasma said residents in the community deserve transparency about why the building is for sale. Coming up on CTV News at 5, opening day for a restaurant welcoming customers to a new spot in Old Ottawa South. And our Jackie Perez is joining us now with a first look at the forecast. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. We had some light snow moving through earlier today, but for this evening and into tomorrow, we are anticipating clear, sunny skies, and even the weather is pretty mild as well. Taking a look at temperatures right now, sitting around -4 here in Ottawa, -3 in Kingston, a little bit warmer in Trenton at -1, but chance of flurries could maintain throughout eastern Ontario as we get into the overnight hours. Overnight lows about -12. We've got those northerly winds moving in as well, but tomorrow it's going to be another mild day, -4, with lots of sunshine in store as well. This will carry on for not just our Thursday, but for most of our Friday. But Friday evening could be a different story. We'll have these details and more in just a bit. Stefan.
Thank you, Jackie. A live check on traffic right now. You can see things are slow moving around the Parkdale area. We can confirm that the westbound lanes of the Queensway are slow from Parkdale to Woodruff. Eastbound is slow from Riverside to Innis, and the 174 eastbound leading to Orleans is slow from the split to Montreal Road. You're watching CTV News at 5. Turning back now to our top story, tragedy in the small town of Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia, that has gripped the country with grief. Police have clarified that 9 people were killed, not 10 as originally reported last night. At least 25 people were injured. Most of the victims were under the age of 15. The community is reeling in the aftermath. British Columbia MP Bob Zimmer spoke with News Talk 580 CFRA's Christy Cameron earlier this afternoon.
All I can really do is just be there. Be there for somebody to talk to and somebody to understand. Hopefully, somebody just to talk with. We've been talking with some of the community members in the last 24 hours, the mayor and others as well. And I think it's just to be present on the ground and to listen.
Christy Cameron is here with more. And Christy, I could imagine speaking with him was a very solemn moment for you. And sometimes conducting these interviews, you just approach it with such sensitivity as he is also feeling it for his community. What more can you tell us about what he had to say?
Just how shocked and how saddened this community is and how upset that he was when he heard this news. At first, he hoped that it wasn't true, and now we know that it was, that there were teenagers, kids, that went to school yesterday that didn't come home. And this is in a very tightly knit community. I can't say that enough, Steph, to give people a sense of what it's like to be there. It's a 7-hour drive from Edmonton.
Okay.
It is a 13-hour drive from Vancouver. So it's in the wilderness. It's a small town. It's a hunting town. People leave their doors unlocked because it was known as a safe place. People know each other in the street. The mayor owns the grocery store. So imagine what it is like today for this community. And I think, you know, the Prime Minister, the leader of the Conservative Party, all the officials in Ottawa today were right when they said that this is a unifying moment. I think that Canadians, people in Ottawa tonight that are watching, really need to keep the families of the victims in their hearts and to think about the pain that this community is going through. It's unimaginable.
No, certainly. Sometimes, you know, media, we can overuse the term tight-knit, but, you know, to put things in perspective, as you mentioned, this is a small community. That school had just over 100 students there. So we're definitely keeping them in our thoughts.
Absolutely. And at a time like right now, I would just say, as members of the media, we try to be very careful with our coverage. So I want people to know that because, you know, there's a lot of pushing for answers and details. We actually got a lot from the RCMP today. That was a pretty substantial news conference. And those details, when they come out, come from the officials. It's important to get it right.
All right. Thank you for this, Christy, and thank you for the work you've done. You can leave a comment through the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. You can listen live to Christy Cameron on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 2 to 6. Coming up on CTV News at 5, what a new report is telling us about the number of vehicle thefts in Canada and if things are getting better. Stay with Coming up later tonight on CTV, following the news, E-Talk starts at 7, shifting gears at 7:30. The Masked Singer at 8, Fear Factor House of Fear at 9, and Shark Tank at 10. Now for another check on the weather forecast, let's go back live to Jackie, who is on location tonight celebrating Heart Month. Jackie.
Yeah, that's right, Stefan. Diamond Storage, one of the buildings that you will see light up throughout the month of February. We'll get to more of that in the 6 o'clock hour. But what we're talking about is the weather. We started this week where it was cold, it was snowy, but the good news is dry seasonal conditions will be closing out the work week. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, where you could already start to see this moving through. That light snow has cleared for the rest of the evening. Parliament Hill in sight, -4 is the current temperature. And it's still pretty light outside. Sunset now getting closer to 5:30. Now here's a closer look at what we can take for the next 24 hours, I should say. So clear skies will be moving through for our Thursday. Lots of sunshine as well in store. We might see a little clouds moving in, but take a look at these temperatures. -12 will be our kickoff for tomorrow morning, which will be the coldest part of our day. It will feel closer to about -18, so not too bad for the winds. By the time the afternoon rolls around, daytime high will be -4. But again, we still have those northerly winds coming through, so it will be a crisp and cool -4. Clear skies will be in store into Thursday, going into Friday. And this is very similar for the Seaway. Mainly cloudy for tonight, -7. -2 is going to be the daytime high with mainly sunny skies. And then as we look towards the valley, while we will have -12 overnight lows with the chance of flurries, tomorrow will be lots of sunshine and -4 the daytime high. Taking a look at the next several days, we've got the clouds clearing, so opening up some sunshine for our Thursday. The -4, -5 degrees will carry us well into Saturday. And I'm looking at Monday, Stefan, and you're going to see that temperatures are hovering around the freezing mark. It really won't be until Monday, truly, that we could see some chance of flurries, perhaps even some rain showers moving in. But we're keeping a close eye on this. For the most part, we are likely going to anticipate those dry, more seasonal, and leaning towards the warmer side for the temperature conditions. So really lots to look forward to as we close out Winterlude for this weekend.
All right, sounds good, Jackie. Welcome back and happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you.
Coming up for us here on CTV News at 5, looking for an affordable way to celebrate Valentine's Day? Well, IKEA has one option for you. If you need gas tonight, one of today's cheapest gas prices can be found at the Pioneer Station on Bank Street in the Gloucester area. Regular gas there is going for 117.9 cents a liter.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Temperature right now, -4. And it's time now for a look at to CTV News at 6. Here's Patricia Bull.
Thanks, Steph. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
It is a nasty situation nobody wants to go into, but it sure shows the courage of the members that go in.
Shock and grief after a deadly mass shooting in British Columbia as details about the shooter and the victims begin to emerge.
Unbelievable thing to wake up to. I know that community very well. My thoughts go out to the chief, all the members of that community.
2 children and their father are dead in a home in Kitigan Zibi, north of Ottawa. Quebec police are calling it a murder-suicide. They say they believe the father is responsible for the deaths of his kids, aged 10 and 12.
I get all teary just thinking about it.
And residents at Pearly Health are creating music from the heart, literally. We'll have more on the special project, Rhythms of Remembrance. All of that and more is coming up tonight on CTV News at 6. That's right after the early edition of CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo at 5:30. Steph.
Thank you, Patricia. Now the final 5 other stories we're following today. Former Ottawa 67's assistant coach Vince Mallette has died. He spent 9 seasons with the 67s and helped lead the team to its 1999 Memorial Cup win. That scene of him jumping onto the ice after the win is one of the highlights in the 67's history. Mallette was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in 2014. In a post on social media, his family shared their love, writing, "You are free now and finally at peace." A new report indicates the number of vehicular thefts in Canada declining. According to a Kit Association, nearly 47,000 auto thefts were reported last year. That's an 18% decrease compared to the previous year and a 33% drop compared to 2023. However, the group says the financial impact of the crime remains high, with insurance claims reaching an estimated $900 million in 2025. Ekit also says more than a third of vehicles reported stolen last year were never recovered. A new restaurant on a busy stretch of Bank Street has officially opened its doors. Roberto's Corner Italian Deli and Cafe is now open in Old Ottawa South. The family-owned restaurant took over the space that was previously the Life of Pie Bakery. The bakery closed at the end of December after 18 years in business. Roberto's Corner will offer a range of options, including Italian desserts, pastas, and sandwiches. As we continue to celebrate Black History Month, there's a special event we want to tell you about. Black History Ottawa is partnering with the Ottawa Senators to host a commemorative hockey game honoring the legacy of the Coloured Hockey League of the Maritimes. It's at the Canadian Tire Centre on Friday, February 20th. Players of various ages and skill levels will face off in a friendly game. Puck drop is 6 p.m. All are welcome, and attendance is free. You can celebrate Valentine's Day at Ottawa's IKEA store this Saturday morning with a special $1 breakfast. All Canadian IKEA locations are offering a traditional breakfast for $1 for IKEA family members from opening time until 11 a.m. It's free to join the IKEA family members programs. The retailer says all proceeds from the breakfast will be donated to the Breakfast Club of Canada, which provides nutritious breakfast to kids in schools across the country. That's CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Thanks for watching, everyone.